Hey guys, welcome back to the channel McNallie Money, home of all things stock, investment, and personal finance related. Now for today's video, we're going to be profiling a company by the name of Spey Resources. They've got a diversified portfolio of assets with a specific focus on the exploration and development of lithium assets in Argentina. Now I'm really excited to talk about this one for a number of reasons. They're really supporting the green revolution, which we've talked about extensively on the channel, and the development of lithium ion batteries. But before we get into all that, please take a second, hit the like button, you guys. It's a huge help to myself and the channel. If you're not already subscribed, McNallie Money, feel free to do so. And let me know in the comment section below what you think of Spey Resources, if you're currently holding shares, and how you think they stack up to some of the other players in this space. Now with that being said, let's get into today's video. So that's right, today's video we're going to be covering Spey Resources Corporation, trades on the OTC in the United States under the ticker symbol SPEYF or SPEYF. As you can see here, a very strong session. This is as of close on Tuesday, October 4th, where Spey was actually up in excess of 10% or 1.7 cents per share to close out just shy of 18 cents US. And you can see if we look at a 6-month chart here, you guys, Spey Resources has actually been holding up relatively nicely compared to the overall market. You can see they hit a low of about 5.5 cents on August 2nd, and they've really been on a strong upward trend ever since, essentially tripling their share price over the last couple of months. Now this is one that's involved in the exploration and development of mineral properties, specifically focused on lithium and lithium brines, which we're going to talk about in a little bit more detail. And I'm super excited about this one because it offers you a great opportunity to invest at the ground floor in an up-and-coming industry with a company that's already got a very interesting and exciting portfolio of assets and opportunities or options to acquire additional locations. Now, if we jump over to the Spey Resources corporate website, I'll leave a link in the video description below. You can see front and center lithium, which is the fuel for the green revolution. This is something we've covered extensively on the channel previously, you guys. But lithium is really a key requirement or input in a lot of the battery technology that we see with things like electric vehicles, for example. And as you continue to scroll down, you can see a note from the CEO and director of Spey Resources, Nader Vantashi, which talks about the ultimate goal of Spey Resources, which is taking these highly prospective properties into actual production for things like lithium. And as we'll talk about a little bit later in today's presentation, a few of the main assets within this portfolio are located within Salta, Argentina, which is known as the Lithium Triangle, which is composed of multiple different lithium brine aquifers, so lithium that's actually dissolved into water, and represents one of the most cost-effective ways to actually extract lithium from the earth. And they then go on to talk about some of the different use cases for lithium. So if we jump over to the next slide here, lithium is a special element. It was the only metal produced in the Big Bang that created the universe 13.7 billion years ago. So a little interesting fact there that we haven't seen in any prior videos. And in terms of the actual use cases for lithium, it's a highly reactive alkaline metal, and it has excellent heat and electrical conductivity, making it a perfect candidate for lithium ion batteries. Now, because of the high energy density, the durability, and the thermal resistance, this can be used in lithium-ion batteries for electronics all the way to electric vehicles or cars. And right now, over 50% of the lithium that's mined in the world is dedicated or sent into battery power production. Now, as we've talked about in the past, the lithium supply is really quite constrained, you guys. So we've got increasing demand and limited supply. But these brine lakes, also known as salars, have the highest volume of mineable lithium. And they're actually only present in 6 countries around the world, which includes Argentina, along with Chile, China, Australia, Zimbabwe, and Portugal. However, I should note that all of the salars, or these brine lakes, are located in Argentina alone. Now, with that being said, the electric vehicle boom we've seen in the United States and really around the world is going to drive the next level of this lithium supply chain crunch. And that's exactly why companies like Spey Resources are really trying to identify these high quality assets and bring them into production to meet this upcoming and expected demand. And as we've talked about in previous videos, by 2025, over 20% of the world's auto market will be electric vehicles. And by 2030, they're expecting 50% or half of the vehicles sold around the world to be electric and require these lithium ion batteries. So if you start to think about the total addressable market, or the TAM here, the lithium market was estimated to be worth $6.8 billion back in 2021, and that's expected to grow to $8.24 billion by 2027. So we're talking a huge opportunity here for companies like Spey, a really exciting sector to operate in, an extremely high growth industry over the next couple of decades. And that's exactly what you see under the lithium demand here, which is expected to double or triple by the year 2030. So with all that being said, now that we have a high level understanding of what Spey Resources is all about and why they're so focused on the lithium space specifically, I wanted to jump into the investor presentation and talk about this company in a little bit more detail. So again, they're a Canadian exploration company, really focused or rooted in addressing the demand for lithium as a natural resource to fuel the future, or that green revolution. And their vision is to contribute to the evolution of high performance lithium powered vehicles as a key mode of transportation on a global scale. So again, a company that you can feel good about investing because they're really supporting the transition away from ICE, internal combustion engines, or traditional fossil fuels. Now, Spey Resources currently owns 80% of what's known as the Candella II project, which is located in that Salar region of the prolific lithium triangle within Argentina, which we just talked about. They retain the option to acquire another 20% or the full 100% interest. And they also have the option to acquire 100% undivided interest in another project known as Pocitos II, which is located in the exploration area of the Los Andes Salta province. So again, another asset or opportunity to acquire an asset in Argentina. And we're actually going to talk about these assets or portfolio of assets in a little bit more detail as we move through today's presentation. They're committed to utilizing sound environmental processes to produce this lithium, so environmentally friendly production, while always considering and partnering with the communities they work in and the land that they're managing. Now, in addition to the South American assets or locations in Argentina, Spey Resources also has Canadian properties here. So you can see the Kaslo Silver property, which is located in the Slocan mining division of southern British Columbia here in Canada. This includes 13 mineral claims and 13 crown grants that cover a total of 3,200 hectares. And they've also got what's known as the Silver Basin gold-silver property, which is in the West Kootenays, again in British Columbia. And this property actually covers the southern part of the historic Silver Cup mining camp, which is part of the Revelstoke mining division. So various different assets, again, a diversified portfolio found both here in Canada and in South America in the country of Argentina. And while we're on the topic of Spey Resources assets, this article actually came out September 28th, so very recently here, and it talks about their acquisition of Lithium Energy Metal Corporation. So Spey Resources is pleased to announce that it's entered into an agreement to acquire all of the shares of Lithium Energy Metal Corporation, which trades under the ticker LEM, which owns 4 projects in the James Bay region of Quebec. So another portfolio of assets here in Canada to add to this overall umbrella of properties. Now, the 454 block project consists of 10 claims, which total 513 hectares, which encompass some of the oldest rocks in La Grande sub-province. Now, they've also got the West Lac Corvette project, which is 10 claims, again, 513 hectares, along with the Trieste project, totaling 50 claims, or about 2,600 hectares. And finally, within this portfolio of 4 assets, the Solomon project, which is 100 claims in 2 separate continuous blocks, covering about 5,100 hectares. And in return for these 4 assets, Spey Resources is going to issue a total of 8.9 million common shares to the existing shareholders of LEM, or Lithium Energy Metal Corporation. So I wanted to throw this in because this is a major development or key catalyst for Spey Resources and really improves or bolsters that overall asset portfolio that we touched on a little bit earlier in today's presentation. And you can see they then go on to talk about their options to acquire interest in both that Candella II and the Pocitos II and Pocitos I lithium projects in Argentina. Now, with all that being said, I came across this article from Investor Brand Media. Again, I'll leave a link in the video description below, talking about their bullish thesis on Spey Resources. So I wanted to take a second and walk you guys through this now that we understand their portfolio, their various different assets, and that lithium focus behind Spey. So the article starts out by talking about that demand-supply imbalance in the lithium industry and the global demand for lithium-ion batteries, which we covered. and specifically calls out the Candella and the Pocitos projects that we talked about in the Salta province of Argentina. And we're actually going to take a deeper look at these locations next up in the presentation. Now, we already talked about the various different uses for lithium, the lithium supply, and the countries in which lithium is found around the world, the lithium market or the growth in that market over the next few years, and the growing demand and the fact that lithium is critical to meeting the needs of this ever-evolving renewable energy sector, or the green revolution as it's known. So to me, these really represent some key and macro catalysts for the lithium market overall, and really any of these companies that participate in that market. And as the saying goes, a rising tide lifts all ships. So I think as we continue to see increasing demand and limited supply for lithium and really a lot of these input battery metals or materials, small cap players like Spey who are involved in this space and have these quality assets within their portfolio are going to perform extremely well. And really that's what we've seen over the last month or so from the shares of Spey Resources. Now, they then go on to talk about that acquisition of Lithium Energy Metal Corporation, which we just talked about, and their 4 projects in the Quebec region. Spey Resources has also just completed a private placement of approximately $3.9 million. That was back on September 16th. So they've raised a significant amount of money, which really de-risks this investment and secures some of their financing or funding moving forward. And back on March 23rd of this year, they had that big announcement of acquiring that 80% interest in the Candella II project, which represented an initial payment of $1 million US and comes along with the right to acquire the additional 20% option down the road. So really quite an active year from this company and a lot of key developments over the last few quarters that are really propelling this company to the next step. Now, since that acquisition on March 23rd, they've been quite active at this location. So in August, the company completed and lodged an initial drill report and lithium sample record. The company is currently or actively searching for a drilling contract to execute the 5 drill hole production program at the Candella II location. And they're continuing to look to push forward this drilling program to further develop this asset. Now at the Pocitos Solar project, they've lodged an amendment for the purposes of maintaining the road access to that location to facilitate the drilling program. Community permission has been granted to drill a well on this location to a depth of 400 meters. And again, they're looking to further propel this drill program by finding additional drilling contracts in the region to support this development. And you can actually see some photos of the Argentina location here. So this is the lithium brine. This is some of the initial test or pilot drilling at that location and some of the core samples. And what's so exciting about these assets is these lithium brines are close to the surface, which means they're relatively easy and cost effective to actually extract, and is another reason why I'm so excited about Spey Resources. And there's actually multiple different YouTube videos available looking at the initial exploration drill programs at these various different locations. So again, I would encourage you to go in and take a closer look if you're thinking about investing in Spey Resources. Now, if we jump back to the company corporate website, I wanted to do a little bit deeper dive into these assets in Argentina. So you can see located in the southern part of Argentina. And if you actually scroll down into the details here, you guys, you can see again, lithium brines close to the surface, which support the conditions for quality lithium mines at depths. And if you actually look at the key features of this location, you can see their exploration success back in 2021. They hit these lithium aquifers. They have that additional 5-hole production drilling coming within the next few months, so a future catalyst for this location. And the initial drill hole data shows that lithium brine aquifers exist anywhere from 50 to 200 meters below the surface. It's easily accessible by road, and there's no indigenous communities close by that could cause potential concerns, meaning it should be a lot easier to bring this site to production. Now at the Pocitos Solar location in Argentina, you can see their initial exploration drill program back in 2018 yielded 75,000 liters per minute of lithium brine. Those are some of the videos available on YouTube. And they're also looking to continue this exploration drill program at this location within the next few months. So another catalyst on the horizon. And if you actually click on the View Project Gallery, you can see some additional resources or documentation about this location. Now here in Canada, they've got their Kaslo Silver property. This is that 13 claim and 13 crown grants that we talked about a little bit earlier in the presentation. They've identified silver, lead, and zinc at this location. You can see an average grade of 70 70.3 grams of silver per ton, 3% lead, and about 4.7% zinc, so additional metals or materials that can be used in battery production. And finally, their Silver Basin gold-silver property, again in the West Kootenay region, which represents another opportunity and diversification within the Spey Resources portfolio. So for those reasons, you guys, this is one that I'm really excited about and definitely have on my radar. For those of you who've been watching the channel for some time, you know I'm extremely excited about the battery metal space and the electric vehicle revolution, and really any of these smaller cap companies that participate in this space. To me, Spey has a great portfolio of assets, again with that lithium brine focus in South America, in Argentina. They've got various different properties, and they've got a whole host of assets here in Canada, focused in British Columbia, and most recently now in Quebec. Now, on top of that, they've just raised additional funds this year to further propel their drill programs in Argentina and really bring these assets to life in a meaningful way. And I think that really represents a great opportunity to create value for shareholders in Spey Resources. And that's exactly what we've seen in the share price over the last couple of months. Again, jumping from 5.5 cents at the start of August to nearly 18 cents to close out the month of September. Now, I'd be super curious to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Are you currently holding shares of Spey? What do you think about their portfolio of assets, the way they've structured this company, and how they've differentiated themselves from some of the other resource exploration type of plays in this sector? If you're still watching the video at this point in time, hopefully you found some value, so make sure you hit the like button. And if you're not currently subscribed to the channel, McNallie Money, feel free to do so. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.